Good morning. We are coming to you from the 10th floor in Osaka. Our hotel is right here. You can't really see it though. And then another building is right here. And in between the two buildings is this incredible outdoor space. Essentially, it's like a garden, park, lawn.
Rooftop garden or porch or...
It's remarkable on the 10th floor.
Yard. It's a rooftop yard.
Yeah, so this is where we're going to record our Day 9 recap to tell you what we did in Osaka yesterday.
All right. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, should we take it from the beginning?
Beginning? The beginning or the end?
It's up to you.
You wanted to go back to the future, right?
All right, well, we'll take it from the end and go back to the beginning then. So we got to our hotel room last night from our day out and about 9:30 in the evening, and we had just come from Dotonbori Street.
Yeah, something like that.
And I don't even know if it's a street so much as like a region, like a little, because there were lots of intersecting streets there in Dotonbori.
Yeah, I think it's the little canal or river that goes through there.
Okay.
It's Dotonbori, maybe?
Yeah. But it is one of the main things to do when you're here in Osaka, and they recommend doing it at night. And so we did. Yesterday we spent from maybe 6 p.m. until 9, because it was a 30-minute subway ride to get there.
Right.
So why don't you give us your impression of Dotonbori Street?
All right. Well, if you would have asked me last night, I would have said, don't go. But it's just probably because I was just being grumpy. There's a lot of people there.
Yes.
But I would say first impressions are it's lit up like a Vegas strip, right? And including all the people that would go with it, right?
Yes.
But tourists, we're not talking, I mean, there's a lot of locals, but there's a lot of tourists.
Oh, so many, yes. And it was definitely different because so many places we've been already are lit up like Vegas. So it was like a carnival / canal street / Bourbon Street-esque looking. It was, to me, the main difference was that all the street signs were, do you call it 3D when it comes out?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they were definitely 3D. They were three-dimensional objects.
Yeah,
that were motorized.
Yeah.
And not all of them, but a lot of them.
But so many of the signs along were either like a dragon coming out of the building, or there was like a baker, or like
an octopus,
a crab with its legs like automated to where, and it was just huge, almost like the images you would see in a Mardi Gras parade on a float, like huge, colorful, gorgeous. And so the atmosphere there was very, very festive.
I think it's falling. The camera might be moving. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so
there
funny.
It goes.
So, yeah, we can just straighten it up.
Hang on just a sec.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. It's funny, we've strapped the camera to the railing here in the park, and so it tilted.
There you go. It's just... all of a sudden it started moving.
I was oblivious. I was too busy talking about the storefronts.
All right. Much better. Much better.
But
okay.
yeah, and as you went down the walkways that were alongside the canal, which had...
Sorry, just making sure it's doing its
I know,
thing.
if anything, it seems like it might be coming forward. You're just going for the ride with us this morning here in the park. But they had... carnival type games, like where you could like use the rifle to shoot things.
Yeah, like the BB gun, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the only one I saw.
I know, that's true. I think I may have seen 2 carnival type games.
Besides the claw machines.
Oh, they have those everywhere. I think that is it's like part of their arcade where it's the like rows and rows and floors of different claw machines where the kids put their coins in, and the adults, honestly.
Oh,
We've seen everybody is in there getting things with the claw machines.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of fun toys.
But they had so much food there on Dotonbori Street, and bar hopping and souvenir shopping. Wow, it was just a show in and of itself, walking up and down the street there.
I think we made, what, 3 passes?
At least, I think. Because
Maybe-
we went
maybe
down the
more.
main strip
Right.
and then a couple side strips because it was very large space.
Yeah. So there's, I guess to describe it, there's one main, I guess lane of shopping and food. And I'm not saying there's not other arteries feeding into it, but there's one main lane of, octopus balls and shops that sell everything from ramen to tuna to
And then shrimp
sushi
on a
and
stick and
shrimp
fruit on a stick.
and fruit on a stick and
Everything you could think of.
everything like that, and everything you would see probably in other busy markets. But I guess the point is that there's one main artery, and then off to the one street over is the canal,
Yes.
and you can get on the canal. There's probably, I don't know, it looked like there was at least 15 different ferries or little boat rides you could take.
Yep.
If you
could
wanted
just,
to. I think they just cruise up and down the canal. And
It almost seemed like little tour guided ferry rides going up and down the canal.
right. And so you can do that. There's the Ferris wheel, which is not really like a normal Ferris wheel. It's kind of like more like a carnival ride where it's connected to the building, and then you ride it up in an oval shape,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, the Ferris wheel cars were perfect circles, but the Ferris wheel itself was a very large oval.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have actually been really cool to do, just to see Dotonbori Street from the air, but the line just looked incredibly long, and it was so chaotic already that I was not interested in waiting around
Right.
for that event.
Well, once we walked into Don Quixote, right?
The souvenir store.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's where the Ferris wheel is, by the way.
And this was a souvenir store like no other. It was 6 floors of merchandise, cram-packed, full of people, and as you navigated your way through, it was so hard to even know which way was in, which way was out, how to get up, how to get down. It was just a madhouse.
It was crazy. People bumping into people, and I don't know. It was less organized than most places you go around here, so that part was just frustrating. Not because of the way the store is organized, but just because people are disorganized.
And it's funny because of everywhere we've been, it's been so efficient, and this place, Dotonbori, was the first place that kind of felt like home. It was just the chaos of what
Just-
you'd expect, whether you're Bourbon Street, Beale Street, Vegas. It's just
Right.
wild.
Madhouse. Now, they had free drinks
Oh yeah, there was
on the streets.
Yeah, there was one storefront where it was like a guy and a girl with their platters full of just shots of sake, giving them out to everybody.
Do sake shots.
Yeah.
And then off to the other little arteries that kind of feed around that area, they had a myriad of shops like burlesque and different types of shows. They had some love hotels over there.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that was the one place so far that actually did have dingy looking streets. There was like, the normal dirt in the crevices
Right.
that you don't see anywhere else here in Japan, but there it was like, oh, this feels familiar. But overall, it was a great experience. I think we were there for 2.5 hours, which was plenty for us. I can definitely tell we're now in our 40s, because I imagine there would be a time in our life when we would have partied it up till the hours of the morning. But at this point, it was like, our hotel sounds nice.
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock, and we were having a cocktail.
Yeah, we
And-
were bar hopping at 6 p.m. instead of...
and I think I was actually starting to feel tired by then. I'm like, hotel sounds good.
I think it was the souvenir shop that really took it out of us. But we did. We
I hadn't
picked up
even
a few things.
I don't think we had been to the
No,
souvenir
we
shop yet.
hadn't.
No.
We were inspired. We were like, we're going to go bar hopping. It was 6 o'clock, and we had our
Yeah.
first cocktail. And after that was when we went into the souvenir shop. And then it wasn't long that we were like, okay, we've seen enough.
Yeah, there was no more hopping. Nope. Maybe limping, I think, at that point. Yeah.
Well, I considered it that it counted that I bar hopped because I had the plum wine at the one bar we went to, and then I had the shot of sake on the street. So 2 drinks to me, I count that as bar hopping.
Yeah, I didn't bar hop, unfortunately.
Yeah, he just had the one highball at the bar.
Yep. And the highballs are really popular. So it's like they use Suntory whiskey, which is a very common brand around here. It's not just a whiskey making. They make gin, they make whiskey, they make water. They're a beverage company, kind of like, I feel like they're kind of like if you took Anheuser-Busch and Pepsi Cola and put them together.
Okay.
There's a few of them around here that are like that, where they do everything from bottled water to whiskey.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they take that whiskey, they mix it in with like a soda water or a seltzer.
It actually tasted pretty good. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I took a sip of his, and when you add the whiskey into the
light.
bubbly water, it was drinkable.
It's super light. Like it's almost like maybe, I don't even know if it's a full shot. Just enough to color the water, I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So, any more to say about Dotonbori?
Go there, be prepared.
And just enjoy. Like, to me, the very best part was the visuals. Just the signage, like the photographs we got were excellent because it's so bright and vibrant and
be prepared for tourists.
Yeah. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. And honestly, I think that was probably the one place I saw the most English-speaking people in one place.
Yes. And it's a shame we weren't hungry because there were so many food options. So many. And a lot of street food to where you still had all the restaurants you could go in and sit down, but mostly what it was the restaurants had to-go windows and people were just lined up to get something to go, like the octopus balls or whatever else. Yeah. And the other thing that we saw that was pretty cool, there was this sushi restaurant, and right in front of the sushi restaurant was this giant ice chest with a carcass of a huge fish. It had the head, and the body of it was just the skeleton. And I think what they were demonstrating with that is to show how fresh their sushi was, that they were making their sushi from that fish there.
In addition to that fish, originally what kind of drew our attention was a glass case, the refrigerated glass case that was hanging probably what looked to be 150-pound tuna.
Huge. And it said like catch of the day, and it was a fish hung up in the refrigerated.
I think was it 64 or 74 kilograms?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around 60 to 70 kilograms. So, but anyway, that was hanging there, and Dory's like, is that even real? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's real. Anyway, so that tuna was hanging there, and then you went over to a cement-looking box that looks like a cooler, like an ice chest or something like that.
And it was glassed over, so, and I think that wasn't it glassed over?
No, I stuck my hand in it.
Oh yeah, I got mixed up because I told Nick to put his hand there for scale because whenever I took the picture, you couldn't tell how large this giant fish was. So he put his hand there, but it was massive. And again, it's a shame we weren't hungry because there were so many food options had we been hungry.
Right.
Yeah, but prior to going to Dotonbori Street, we had went to a very interesting...
Well, that's why you weren't hungry.
I know. It was because we had went to this very interesting place for dinner, unexpectedly.
So a couple days ago when we were walking around, we meandered down an alleyway of sorts. Mm-hmm. Not a dark alleyway. It was well lit and full of different shops. But in any case, it's kind of across from Umeda Station. And
I think it's labeled E Street.
Yeah, I think it is E Street. Right?
Yeah, they have a lit up sign above the alleyway, E Street, and you go in. Yep. Tons of shops. Tons of shops.
Well, she likes to find the dungeons. Apparently.
They intrigue me, I guess.
So yeah, she would have been good at, I don't know, something back in the Middle Ages. Probably torture, I'm thinking.
No.
As easily as she's subdued, or what do I say, attracted to the dungeon doors.
Because it's like you're going through, every place is so lit up and vibrant and well lit, and then there's this one spot where it's like a dark wooden door frame, And they still have a menu out, so you know it's a restaurant. But then the stairwell just goes down, and you don't even see it. It's like it goes down and turns, so you don't really know what you're getting into. And something about that just intrigued me. I'm like, let's try this place, because I was so hungry. This is 4 p.m. at this point, and we had finished breakfast at maybe 9:30 in the morning, and I hadn't eaten anything, and I was hungry. And so...
oh, and when she's hungry, the world stops. I promise you.
That's not true.
It's so true.
Don't listen to him.
It's so true. I'm so hungry. It's like you might as well quit what you're doing because you're not going to enjoy any of it until you stop, you take her somewhere to get something to eat, and you satiate that, yeah, that hunger. Because
Yes.
otherwise, it's going to be, you might as well just hang it up.
So we went down the stairs.
She was hungry.
Because I was hungry. And as you turned the curve, there was a dark hallway with like medieval lanterns. Like they must have been going for this theme, and they pulled it off great, because you were walking on like stones that were even damp.
Yeah, like the ceiling had leaked.
Yeah, it was like moisture was seeping into this dark tunnel with lanterns lining the dark hallway, and then you get to like a little door.
It was like you were in a mine.
And I knew this was a restaurant because they even had a sign that said it opened for dinner at 1600, and it was 4 on the nose. Like I felt like we were going to be the first ones in there. And so I opened the door just enough because I wasn't really sure. I'm like, do you knock? Do you open? But I cracked the door open, and there was like a gentleman right there. And I'm like, are you open? And I let him know we had 2 people, and he ushered us in, and he brought us to a table. Now, whenever we were coming in, I could see there were normal individual tables down there. But where he brought us, imagine you're in an American Japanese restaurant and you sit at a hibachi table where you're there with other patrons and everybody orders and the chef cooks it all right in front of you. It was very similar to that, except the table was low. You were sitting on little low chairs, and instead of the flat grill like they have at Japanese steakhouses, it was like a grill grate with flames coming through it, like a charcoal grill.
Dungeon. Think of dungeon.
And instead of around the grill being like cleared with just your menus, instead, picture you're in the middle of a fish market, and there laid up were all different types of fish, all like some were whole fish, some were filleted out, some were just a bowl of fish heads. There was a bowl of shells that were like spiral shells with like a meaty thing in the middle.
The turban, I think it was a
Turban.
Yeah.
They had scallop shells, so it was just all this fresh seafood. Plus they had all different types of pork and beef skewered. They had quail eggs skewered.
Asparagus
Wrapped in bacon, already skewered. So it was all of this food that was there prepared to be cooked. And what you did was... Yep, they had the scallops, tons of stuff. I mean, it truly looked like you were smack dab in the middle of a fish market with some meat on skewers. And we sat down, and they brought us the English menus, and really we just started first I was pointing at stuff on the menu, and then I just started pointing at stuff around the table. And essentially whatever you want, they then grill it right there in front of you, and then they plate it up and make it look pretty and add like some garnish stuff to it. And then the chef puts the plate on essentially a boat paddle and passes you your food across the grill on the paddle, and then you take it off.
That's right. Yeah.
It was amazing and so fun. And there was one other couple there who were steadily ordering food, and so
they ate a lot.
They ate a lot of food, but it was great to kind of see what they chose, because it gave me ideas of like, ooh, that looks good, because they had chose a grilled avocado. Yeah. And one of the fish they chose, I really was interested in trying, but I was just so full.
We should have tried that one.
We should have tried that one, yeah, because what we did try, we did the scallops, we did shrimp, the biggest shrimp I've ever seen.
They're like
huge, delicious, amazing shrimp.
Like that, like this long on a skewer. I mean, okay. They were like this long on a skewer.
Yeah, and they had the head and the tail on there, but then the chef would peel them to where when it came plated to you, it still had the head and the tail, but all the shell of what you would eat.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful. And even the scallops, when he grilled the scallops and it popped the shell open and they'd put the sauce in there and all the garnish. And then we ate the scallops and I just tipped up the shell and drank all the juice. It was so good, so good.
Oh yeah.
So we had the scallops, we had the shrimp.
I like that they grilled it right in the shell.
Yes, yeah, they kept it right in the shell. We had the fish head. I don't even know what kind of fish that was.
It was a red.
Oh yeah, red something.
Brim.
Red, yeah. It was just a giant head. They grilled both sides and then we picked the meat out of it.
Right, I picked it off like I was a.
He was so brave.
Like I was a bird. A little bird. I had my chopsticks and I just picked
not
away.
Been as daring with some of this food, but with the fish head, I was so proud of you. And then I tried the weird conch shell terrapin thing.
Turban. Ben. Turban.
Turban. Like a turban?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It the shell wraps around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
And then we tried the avocado grilled, plus the bacon wrapped asparagus, and a beef skewer. We don't even know what cut of beef it was.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think it may have been some organ. And the reason I say this, it tasted a little bit like rib, but at the same time, it had that little bit of taste that you get with organ meat.
Yeah, because on the menu they had all sorts of cuts of
heart.
beef.
It may have been heart.
It could have been heart.
Because it was dark.
It was very dark meat, but it was so good because I had originally pointed at a different cut of beef, and the chef was like, "No, this one's better," and recommended the one beside it, which was a much darker meat. So it may have been heart.
I think it might have been heart because it was definitely not liver.
No, I would have recognized liver. I wish I liked liver because I know it's so good for you, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think we figured it out.
Yeah.
It was heart.
And the way they tallied up your bill was you had this little wooden block with a peg on it, and for every plate you ordered, they put like a little square wooden tag.
Yeah, like a tag.
And they would all stack up. So as you ordered a bunch of dishes, they'd come around and refill your drinks and add more of those little blocks to your tab.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was kind of cool the way they did it, and then I think depending on the size of your plate, it would also depend on how many tags that counted for it.
Yeah.
And then they added your drinks to it, and then they just told the guy at the register, and you went up and paid. So.
Yeah, and for as much as we could possibly eat of seafood and beef and veggies, and I had 2 sakis and you had a highball.
Yeah.
The price was under $40.
Oh,
Couldn't believe it. It was
crazy.
Amazing food, so delicious. And to me, it's been my favorite place that we've ever been because not only was the food great, the atmosphere was just out of this world.
It was like you were in a dungeon.
Yeah, it was so
cool. It was cool.
Very, very cool.
Yep.
The only negative, and it's my own damn fault, because I get myself into these precarious positions where I'm adventurous and I'm going to try something. It had to do with this terrapin thing. Turban. So it's like a spiral shell, almost like a hermit crab that you would see on the beach, but a little bit larger.
About this big.
No, it's not either.
All right.
It is not. Like you could hold it in your hand.
I think the shell is like this long and maybe like it would sit
You could
in your
hold
hand.
it in your hand. It was like a baseball. Yeah, like a very spiky baseball.
Yeah.
And then you had the animal on the inside, and they just grilled it and put all the sauce and stuff. And so whenever it was time to eat it, I used the chopsticks and I pulled this animal out of the shell, and the animal took on the shape of the spiral, right? And so I pulled this glob of meat out, and I took a bite. I bit it like halfway in to kind of get the consistency and the flavor, and it was very chewy. Not quite as chewy as gizzard, but gizzard-like. And so I still had a substantial amount of this creature left. And I didn't know whether you just eat the whole thing. I was unsure. But what I did observe was that the tail end of it was black. That should have been a very big warning sign. And so I put it in my mouth, and you could kind of feel with your lips a change in texture from being that super chewy to more soft. And so I made the decision not to eat the whole thing and just to eat a little bit more, but I went too far. And I'm pretty sure the black soft end of this animal was its bowels. And once I discovered that, I did spit it out and tried to get the idea out of my head, because it wasn't so much like I didn't swallow any of it, but it was just the idea of what I had just done. And so I like spit it out, drank some sake to sanitize, and just tried to let that go so that it didn't interfere with the pleasantness of my experience there.
I like the fish head.
Yeah, the fish head was fun. I was wondering if we were eating it right though, because it felt like...
I felt like it was like fried chicken, you know, where you just pick it up, and I'm like, I have my chopsticks, and I'm just like moving it around and pulling the little pieces of cartilage off of it.
Yeah, at first we were trying just to get the meat, but then I'm thinking, I bet the locals just like put it all in their mouth and are eating the skin and the goo.
I just dug in after that. Yeah.
Yeah, we I think did a pretty good job for not really knowing how to eat a fish head. So,
yeah.
But the shrimp, and by far I think my favorite thing was the scallops. Those scallops, the scallops and the shrimp were my favorite. I wish I had been more hungry, because I wanted to try everything they had.
I could have probably ate another 6 scallops or more.
Oh, they were so good. And that's why we weren't hungry at all when we went to Dotonbori Street, because we had just had this amazing seafood feast in the Dungeon restaurant, and we're not at all hungry whenever we got to Dotonbori Street.
Yeah.
And so as we work our way through yesterday, those 2 things were really the big events. Going to that restaurant and going to Dotonbori Street, because the rest of our day was filled with window shopping. And I say window shopping only because we didn't buy anything, but we went through so many department stores of sports goods and outdoor stores, and just looking at like what merchandise they had, because this place is like just one giant mall, all connected.
Yeah.
There's shopping and shopping on top of shopping. There was like, we went into the Nintendo store and the PS5 store, which was all connected. It was like you're in this giant store, and around every corner is a whole nother brand of merchandise.
Right. What is it? Yashiboda camera or something like that? Something like that. Yobashi camera? I don't remember.
Maybe it's Yobashi. It's probably written on a building around here.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a very popular electronics store around here. My favorite one by far, I think. There's the big camera store. I can't remember what they call it. Something camera.
But for people who are interested in shopping, this is a paradise. I, for one, am not that interested in shopping, especially in paying retail prices, and plus the fact that I don't want to carry a bunch of bags around for our last week of travel. So it was interesting to see what merchandise they had, but I wasn't actually interested in buying anything.
And that's truly one of the things that's been kind of limiting for us, is to keep us from buying stuff, is we just don't want to
carry it around.
Pack it around.
Yeah, even when we went to the souvenir shop, we were making a deliberate choice to choose small items that are easily packable, because we do know we probably will eventually buy like another luggage set and fill it with souvenirs, but we'll just do that on our last day in Tokyo. That way we don't have to drag it to Kyoto and then to Mount Fuji and then back to Tokyo.
Right.
We'll just wait till we're in Tokyo.
And the reality is, it's not that it's terrible, but it just seems really hard to do
on the subway. Like bringing your luggage on the subway.
And down the streets, you know, because it's like,
and I do
tripping
think
people up, you know?
People use luggage shipping services here, so that instead of you taking all your bags from hotel to hotel, I read online that the Family Mart has a luggage delivery service where you just take your luggage there and they deliver it to your next spot.
Right.
But again, I don't see the point when we have a whole last day in Tokyo and we can spend it buying souvenirs. If we choose to.
We probably will.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing is
market.
You can get luggage everywhere here.
Oh yeah, they sell it everywhere.
And everywhere around here, like you'll see people dragging luggage. And
they're rolly bags. Clickety, 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 click.
And we're not just talking like tourists. I think everybody.
Yeah.
Locals included will drag luggage around.
Speaking of bags, one thing I've noticed is the men here carry bags that I wouldn't know whether it was a woman's purse or a man's bag. They are very fashionable with very nice bags. So I just bubbled up. It didn't have anything to do with luggage, but it's just noticing the handbags that men carry here are very, very nice.
Very nice.
Yes.
I'd like a man satchel.
Man satchel.
A man satchel.
But yeah, so we shopped and we did laundry yesterday. That's what we did. We went to a coin laundry place because in the hotel they have a price listing and it costs 200 yen per pair of underwear to launder them. Whereas when we went to the Laundromat for 1,000 yen, we could launder 8 kilograms worth of laundry, which was more than enough.
We did consider just throwing our laundry away.
We thought about just going and buying
kidding.
more underwear because that's really what we needed to launder, socks and underwear.
We're like, how much does underwear cost?
But
Should we just toss it and buy new stuff? Just kidding.
But it ended up being very easy to do. We found the laundromat, and again, a note of Japanese efficiency. Their washers are dryers. It's one machine, and it already has the detergent built in somehow. So you just put your stuff in, put your coins in, and 1 hour later, you have clean, dry laundry. And that laundromat was beautiful. It was like something out of a Pinterest app. Like it had like wooden tabletops with metal legs and like the
white walls
and the plants. I mean, it was beautiful.
black accents.
And it had music being.
Oh yeah, pumped through.
Yeah, it was just the most beautiful laundromat.
Yeah, we were going to record in there, obviously. I think we said that before, but it was just too loud.
It was too loud because of the music. And I'm hoping the construction sounds here at this site aren't going to be bothersome because there's a building being built right over here, a building being built right back there. And then since we've been recording, I've seen a plane and a couple of helicopters. So hopefully those sounds aren't being captured too much in this recording.
Yeah, by the time we finish this, what I'll do is I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you the little park that we're up here.
Yeah, on the 10th floor. It's
and
amazing.
do a 360 for you.
But yeah, so this is our last day in Osaka. Today we catch the train and go to Kyoto and check into Hyatt Place Kyoto.
Now this is the longest we've stayed in one hotel.
It is 3 nights in this one hotel.
Every other place has been 2 nights or less, right?
Yes, yep, every other place was 2 nights except the capsule hotel was 1 night. And then we were here in Osaka for 3 nights, and then we go to Kyoto for 3 nights. Then we go to the Fuji Speedway Hotel for 2 nights, and then 1 more night in Tokyo, and we fly back home on Halloween.
And I will say, I think 3 nights is a good number.
I do too. Like, oh my God, I could live in this darn hotel. Our hotel room is like an apartment. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I do feel that I know we haven't seen all that Osaka has to offer, but we hit the castle and Dotonbori, tried the amazing seafood dungeon restaurant.
Yeah,
and
at the Umeda Sky, or is that what they call it?
Umeda Sky building. Yeah, it's a lookout. It's just like 2 or 3 blocks over. And we keep trying to debate whether to go to the top of it because our room is on the 27th floor. And it's like, how much better could the view be at the Umeda Sky building? It doesn't seem that much taller.
Right.
So we haven't decided yet. We don't have to check out today till 4 o'clock. So we might walk over there and do that. We'll see. We'll let you know on tomorrow's recap video.
And that's not the only 3 things that you can do while you're here. But,
there's so many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, we just kind of take it easy and leisurely. And apparently we like to shop in outdoor stores.
Right. They're so cool. I think I'm going to go back today. I might find me some Air Jordans there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's a beautiful day. And I love this rooftop garden. And I'm excited to spend our last day here and hit the train and go to Kyoto, which is only like 30 minutes away. It's really close.
Right?
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
I don't know. Did we miss anything?
Oh, well, let me reference our handy dandy list. Laundry, recorded 8-day recap. We skipped leg day. We did skip the gym yesterday.
Oh yeah, every day is leg day here.
I know, we walk a lot. I didn't even check my steps from yesterday, to be honest.
I didn't either.
No, I think we covered everything. Yeah, the only thing we really didn't talk about was the subway station here in Osaka, because yesterday was our first time using the subway to get to Dotonbori and back.
Yeah.
And all I'll really say is that the subway station here it feels like a luxury subway station. Like there's a whole city underground. The walls and floors are all like pearly white tile. The shops just seem elegant. It is so clean and so beautiful, and it's what every subway station should aspire to be.
A shopping mall.
A beautiful, clean, elegant one. It's very, very nice.
No, they're very nice. I mean, they sell everything from, this one has Krispy Kreme and McDonald's and all sorts of like delicate
I thought of one thing we
pastry
forgot
shops
to mention. You didn't talk about your last meal of the day.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll tell you real quickly. What do we have?
Well, it was after we got back from Dotonbori and we got off the subway and we were walking to the hotel, and I'm still not hungry at all. But you had a hankering for some American food.
Oh yeah, I wanted a hamburger, so we went to Wendy's.
And what did you order?
I got the teriyaki baconator.
Teriyaki baconator. And your drink, sir?
It was a boba tea.
Sparkling
Wendy's.
boba. Sparkling boba tea from Wendy's. First Kitchen, that's what they call it here.
Wendy's First Kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
The French fries were good. I did take a couple of your
fries.
fries.
They were excellent. I was really surprised they were still like so crispy when we got back to the room.
And the other unique thing about when he ordered fast food to go, it all came in a bag. So we had the combo meal, the teriyaki baconator, the French fries, and the boba tea. And whenever he unpacked his bag, the boba tea was sitting, we all know what the cardboard cup holders look like. It was one little square to hold one cup to keep the cup balanced inside the bag. So I thought that was pretty clever.
Oh yeah, and so what I noticed is whenever you order takeout, especially at like the fast food restaurants, is if you order a drink, they put it in a bag itself.
Probably because they don't encourage drinking and walking.
Yep. No drinking and walking.
It's just like the Army. You're not supposed to drink and walk in the Army either.
Yeah, but I do put my hands in my pocket.
Oh, I put my hands in my pocket here too. I haven't paid attention. I think that's only an Army rule.
I know, I'm just...
Being funny?
Yeah, being funny.
Haha. No, it's good. But I totally do put my hands in my pocket here. I'm going to pay attention though. Maybe they don't.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, so we had the Wendy's.
Right.
And then made it back to the hotel room in the comfort and peace and just chilled out. And so we're starting our very last day here in Osaka, and appreciate you for following along on our great adventure. And we will catch you up tomorrow and tell you what Kyoto is like.
That's right. So real quick, I'll kind of give you a
show
little
the
360 view,
Yes.
and then we'll say see you later.
Yes.
All right.
I'll narrate while he guides the camera. So
here-
again, we're on the 10th floor. That's our hotel building, the Intercontinental Osaka. Amazing. Can't recommend it highly enough. It is phenomenal. The breakfast is just incredible. All these grasses and trees are just growing on the 10th floor. You can see construction in the distance. There is an airport nearby. We've been watching the planes come in. There's a mountain range in the back. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous day. I think it's 75 degrees. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather. We have really lucked up. And then if we walk a little bit, you can see the Umeda Sky Building.
It's peeking behind that building over there.
With the white top there. And I love this little walking path, if Nick will show it to you, after the Umeda Sky Building. You know, the one thing we haven't tried yet, and I don't know if we really will, but they have karaoke here. And I've been tempted a couple times, not that I've been wanting to sing, but just to see what it's like, because I know it's something Japan is very famous for. So
I don't know what that building is. Do you know what that building is?
Nope.
I'll have to look it up.
Don't know. But yeah, this is all like part of the subway system is just all right over there and under, like the Osaka station is right there. And I love how the greenery grows on the buildings. There's one right here.
Oh, sorry.
See how
Spinning in circles.
it's like vines. There's a lot of buildings where they try to get the greenery to grow on the outside of it. There's a Starbucks that's completely covered in growth. And it's just beautiful how they add in green spaces in the midst of the city.
I'll show them the path, I guess.
Yeah, I love this walking path over here. It's just so simple, and I guess the reason I like it so much is just that it's on the 10th floor. But yeah. But yes, it's beautiful here. So quiet.
All right. Can I
Just
see a view out
perfect
there?
day. Yeah, and that big red sign says Big Echo Karaoke Entertainment. And I think that is where East Street is, because when you go down through there, it's full of karaoke bars and arcade games and
Right,
restaurants.
I think you're right.
And then the river is over behind that green sign.
Oh, we can see a little bit of it. All right. There's the mountains.
Yeah, just a beautiful day here in Osaka.
Anything else to say?
No, just thanks for watching. We really appreciate your patronage, and if you think you have anyone who'd be interested, please share our channel.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.